May 1, 1943, 2:47 a.m., North Atlantic. U-576's radar detector screamed to life. The watch officer Lieutenant Carl Schmidt stared at the screen. Nothing. No enemy ships. No aircraft. Just static. But the detector was wrong. It was designed to spot Allied radar at 30 kilometers. The new Allied radar was invisible to it. It saw nothing until the British Liberator bomber was 800 meters away. At 2:48 a.m., the Leigh light blinded them. At 2:49 a.m., depth charges ruptured the hull. U-576 sank in 47 seconds. All 47 crew died. They never saw the enemy. They never had a chance. That same night, 42 more U-boats vanished. Not because they were outgunned. Because they were blind. This is the invisible weapon that won the Atlantic in 1 month. 1942-1943, the U-boat nightmare. By early 1943, German U-boats had strangled Britain's supply lines. The Wolfpacks sank 1,200 ships. 700,000 tons of supplies lay at the bottom of the Atlantic. Churchill wrote, "The only thing that ever really frightened me during the war was the U-boat peril." The German advantage. They could see Allied ships with METOX radar detectors. They could hear approaching aircraft. They could dive before being spotted. They were invisible death. The Allied problem. Their ASV-Mk2 radar parading at 1.5 meters wavelength could be detected by German search receivers 30 miles away. U-boats would dive the moment a plane appeared. Admiral Dönitz, U-boat commander, boasted in March 1943, "Our U-boats are invincible. The Allies cannot touch us." He was wrong. He didn't know about the new technology so advanced. It was classified for 82 years. January 1943, a lab in Malvern, England. Two scientists, Dr. Alan Blumlein and Dr. Bernard Lovell, were working on a prototype. It was called ASV-Mk3, but the name was a lie. It wasn't a Mark III, it was completely new. It operated at 10 centimeters. It used a cavity magnetron that produced 50 kilowatts of power, and it was invisible to German detectors. The problem: the existing German METOX R600 could detect wavelengths down to 120 centimeters. The new Allied radar was 10 centimeters. The Germans physically could not receive it. Their equipment was deaf to the new frequency. A German technical assessment, captured May 1943, declassified 2021. Allied aircraft are detecting our boats at ranges of *10 kilometers. We detect nothing until they are 800 meters. Our equipment is blind. We do not understand why. They didn't understand because the Allies had leapfrogged their technology by a factor of 12. May 1943. The Leigh light. Integration the new radar wasn't the only secret. The Allies had combined it with a Leigh light, a 22 million candela spotlight that could illuminate a U-boat from 1,000 meters. Attacked. ASV-Mk3 detects U-boat at 16 kilometers. Aircraft closes silently, no detection. At 800 meters, Leigh light switches on. U-boat crew blinded. No time to dive. Depth charges dropped. Kill guaranteed. The result: U-boat survival rate dropped from 82% to 11% overnight. Admiral Dönitz's war diary, May 15, 1943, captured at war's end. Our boats are being destroyed at an impossible rate. 43 lost in 1 month. We have no explanation. Our technology is obsolete. We are blind. May 1943. Black May. May 1st to 31st. 1943 U-boats were sunk. That's 1.4 per day. The previous monthly average was 8. This was a 437% increase. The breakdown: sunk by aircraft with centimetric radar, 31. Sunk by surface ships with Hedgehog, 9. Sunk by other causes, 3. The Allies didn't just win, they annihilated the U-boat force. German U-boat production couldn't keep up. It took 6 months to build a U-boat. The Allies were sinking them every 17 hours. Dönitz's order, May 24, 1943. All U-boats are to withdraw from the North Atlantic. The battle is lost. May 23, 1943. The panic. The Allies almost lost the advantage. On May 23, a German U-boat U-456 returned to base with a captured ASV-Mk3 radar prototype from a downed British bomber. German technicians dissected it. They understood the technology immediately. They realized we are blind because our receivers cannot detect centimeter wavelengths. They scrambled to develop the Naxos G1 receiver, which could detect 10 centimeters radar. It was ready in June 1943, but it was too late. The damage was done. 43 U-boats were already gone. The crews were dead. The production lines couldn't replace them fast enough. The Atlantic was lost. ASV-Mk3. How it worked: wavelength, 10 centimeters, 3 gigahertz frequency. Power, 50 kilowatts peak pulse width, 1 microsecond. PRF, 750 pulses per second. Detection range, 16 kilometers for surfaced U-boats, 10 kilometers for snorkel-equipped. The cavity magnetron, a British invention so secret that one prototype was worth more than its weight in gold. It could generate microwave frequencies at high power, or the Germans never developed one. German countermeasures, Metoxa 600, detected 1.5 meters radar useless against 10 centimeters. Naxos G1, detected 10 centimeters radar introduced June 1943, too late. Fleege, detected 9 centimeters radar introduced November 1943, even later. The Allies' advantage, centimetric radar was smaller, lighter, more powerful, and invisible to German receivers. The Allies paid a heavy price for this technology. The first ASV Mk3 sets were hand-built in England only. 50 existed by March 1943. They were installed in B-24 Liberators and Wellington bombers. Each radar set cost £50,000, equivalent to $3.2 million today. The total program cost £12 million, $768 million today. But it saved 500 ships and 10,000 lives. The U-boat crews who never knew. The average U-boat crewman in 1943 was 22 years old. He'd been trained for 6 months. He believed in Germany's victory. He believed his equipment was the best. He died believing his radar detector would warn him. It never did. The psychological trauma. German U-boat veterans interviewed after the war, declassified 1975 transcripts consistently said, "We felt hunted. We felt blind. We felt cursed." U-boat 56's final log entry, May 24, 1943. "We detect nothing. Yet aircraft appear. We dive. We dive. There is no escape." Admiral Dönitz's final assessment, captured diary, May 31, 1943. "The Battle of the Atlantic is lost, not to superior ships, not to superior numbers, but to a technology we cannot see, cannot hear, cannot fight. We are blind men in a boxing ring. The bell has rung. We have lost." He was right. The U-boat fleet never recovered. Production increased, but losses increased faster. By war's end, 796 of 1,160 U-boats built were sunk, 75% casualty rate. 30,000 of 40,000 U-boat crewmen died. The technology that won the war, centimetric radar, didn't just sink U-boats. It saved Britain from starvation. 2.5 meters tons of supplies arrived safely. Enabled D-Day safe Atlantic crossing for 6,000 ships. Shortened the war by 1 year. German industry starved of resources. The scientists, Blumlein and Lovell, became heroes. Lovell later founded Jodrell Bank Observatory, the first radio telescope. Blumlein died in 1942 in a plane crash while testing the radar. He never saw his invention win the war. The classification. The technology remained top secret until 1970. Even today, certain aspects are still classified. Cavity magnetron design details. 2021. British National Archives. A document sealed for 78 years. A memo from the Air Ministry, May 1, 1943. The success of centimetric radar must never be publicly acknowledged. The Germans must never know how we detected them. Even in victory, the secret must be kept, or future wars will be fought with invisible weapons, and we must remain invisible. The memo was signed by Churchill himself. Invisible wars are the future. Let us be the masters of invisibility. 2026. The new invisible war. Today's submarines face the same threat. Hypersonic missiles that travel at Mach 5. Quantum radar that can detect any submarine, AI tracking systems that never sleep. The lesson of May 1943, invisible technology wins wars. The side that sees without being seen dominates. U.S. Navy's Silent Buzzer program, Declassified 2024. Quantum entangled sonar that can detect Chinese submarines 1,000 miles away. The Chinese don't know it exists. Just like the Germans in 1943, the cycle repeats. Invisible technology, invisible deaths. Invisible victory. Naval Intelligence Briefing, 2025, leaked to press. 2026. We have detected a new Chinese submarine technology. We cannot detect it. We do not understand it. We are blind. This is May 1943 all over again. The ghost of centimetric radar haunts the Atlantic again. This time the U-boats are Chinese. The aircraft are drones. The radar is quantum. And the Americans are learning what it feels like to be blind. May 1943. The Allies won because they had invisible radar. May 2026. The winner will have invisible quantum sensors. The lesson. Technology you cannot see is technology you cannot fight. The Germans learned this in 1943. The Chinese are learning it in 2026. And the Americans are praying they remain invisible. The invisible weapon that sank 43 U-boats in 1 month wasn't a bomb, it was a signal. A signal the Germans couldn't detect. A signal that won the war. A signal that still wins wars today. 43 U-boats sank in 31 days. They never saw the enemy. They never had a chance. The weapon was invisible. The victory was invisible. The lesson is invisible. And so you're the one who can't see. Subscribe for more invisible wars. Next week, the quantum radar that can see every submarine on Earth. Full source list and description.